All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to apostles of Great Millstone and salutations to the elect, which we ought to be. Now, it's your brother Hawaya from GMS Chicago, and pretty much I'm doing a response video to the brother page. Salaki if I get it wrong, but he's a confusion to face. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much I'm doing a response video to the video. It says that Jerusalem is the 12 tribe, the elect of the 12 tribes is New Jerusalem coming out of heaven. You know what I'm saying? And I'm start off with Daniel, because first and foremost, when you read Daniel's 9 and 7, you know what I'm saying, and Baruch 1 and 15 in the Apocrypha, it talks about how it's confusion of faces among us. You know what I'm saying? If says, just like the Jakes, you know what I'm saying, who went over to Hiroshima, you know what I'm saying? More than likely, after they won the war, what happened? They was looking for the bar, and they was looking for some women. You know what I'm saying? They was popping the Vietnamese women over there. You know what I'm saying? And later down the line and stuff, you had a dark-skinned Vietnamese come out. You know what I'm saying? But still within that land. And then later on, you have later down that line with him constantly putting seed in the Vietnamese women. Eventually down the line, you're going to have one that's going to look like a straight Vietnamese, but his spirit bear witness that he is a son of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and Yahweh is the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls Jehovah or God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ or Yeshua, Yeshua, or Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? Because the scriptures in Deuteronomy 28 and 64 said that we should be scattered to the four corners of the earth. You know what I'm saying? So we are going to mix and mingle. When you read Exodus, the first chapter, we talked about how when the Pharaoh that didn't know Joseph, who put the Israelites in hardcore bondage and stuff, every time we was in hardcore bondage, what happened? We multiplied, man. And how do you multiply? By having sex, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is the real marriage according to the scriptures, But I'm going to start in this Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. It says, "And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people." You know what I'm saying? And that's talking about the nation of Israel, man. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and confusion face who bloodline go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom is talking about the kingdom that's finna come when Yahweh Shai's rule will be. You know what I'm saying? No more wickedness. Righteousness will be established throughout the earth. You know what I'm saying? And it will be forever. It will never change, and it will never turn over. You know what I'm saying? Because any other kingdom that ruled, you know what I'm saying, was besides the rule of King Solomon, you know what I'm saying, or the rule of the Israelites, you know what I'm saying, when they was following the law, statutes, commandments, being obedient to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you know what I'm saying, the ways of the heathen, you know what I'm saying, those kingdoms was pretty much kingdoms of death, man, death and destruction, you know what I'm saying. And it says, "But it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever." Meaning that the nation of Israel, when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai comes back and he cracks them clouds, and the elect get chosen, they get beamed up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, guess what? That means that the kingdom of the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be established by the nation of Israel, by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, they will never go down, man. There will never be any overturning of the kingdom once the Lord comes back, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that is the selected law of the land, man. That shall never change and will never change. You know what I'm saying? This is Psalms chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." You know what I'm saying? So, like it says in Revelations 13 and 10, it says, "He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity." I believe it's in First Maccabees, either 2 or 10, when it says that what nation didn't have a part in her spoils. So and when you read the scriptures, once you find out the biblical nationality of these heathens, you know what I'm saying? Like, to name a couple, Esau, Edom, you know what I'm saying? Edom, is the so-called white men today. You know what I'm saying? Moab is Chinese. Ammon is the Japanese. Elam is the East Indians, the ones who have the red dot on their foreheads. You know what I'm saying? All these different heathen nations will have underneath their subjection, man, because now it's their turn to go underneath the rule. But the thing is that nowadays when you read Mark the 3rd chapter, it talks about like what nation, if a kingdom shall be divided against, a nation divided against itself cannot stand. You know what I'm saying? You got Esau, Edom going against each other. You know what I'm saying? You know, and their nation is crumbling before. You know, you got all these other heathens now turning their back on the Lord. So like now turning their back off on Esau, Edom, that they was once confederate to put out the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? They turn against Esau, Edom, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, because we're at the end times. You know, and the Lord said that. You know, we asked him when we shall, Lord willing, be part of that hopeful elect. You know what I'm saying? But even the 2/3, when they come out the righteous sack of the elect, you know what I'm saying? And they also be underneath the second covenant to never go off and be perfect. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that they'll also have slaves as well. You know what I'm saying? But this is only pertaining to the nation of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a changing in who's going to be slaves and who's going to be rulers. The nation of Israel will be the rulers, and all these other nations that had their time and their chance to rule and didn't rule righteously, now it's your turn to go into slavery, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Micah chapter 4, verse 1. It says, "But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountains." You know what I'm saying? Because when you read scriptures, you know, mountain either means like large government, and hills meaning small governments, man. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much it's referring to the nation. You know, the nation of Israel will be the house that the Lord had established. You know what I'm saying? Top of all mountains, man, because we're going to be the ones on top. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be the ones in rulership. You know what I'm saying? Ruling in righteousness. It will never be no more mourning, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, even the heathens will rejoice, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's righteous rulership. Everything's fair. There ain't no getting over on nobody. They gonna serve their punishment, man. You know what I'm saying? Not just Esau, Edom, but you other heathens as well, because you also had a part in having us in slavery and doing us wrong as well. You know what I'm saying? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. For all the things that you have done unto us, you got to get it back. You know what I'm saying? That's your reward, you know? And it says, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow onto it. You know what I'm saying? So when the nation of Israel is established, you know what I'm saying? Because when you read Tobit, for the 14th chapter, the last verse, it talks about how our kingdom will be built up on precious stones and precious minerals, you know what I'm saying, and gold and silver, man. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that the ones that's going to be building that up is these other nations, man. You know what I'm saying? Who had us in captivity, who also had us in derision, you know what I'm saying? You know? And, you know, they'll be flowing on to us, you know what I'm saying? Verse 2, it says, "And many nations shall come and say, Come and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh and to the house of God of Jacob, the power of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths." You know what I'm saying? Because when we in the heathens, they will follow the laws, statutes, commandments, but with them not having that covenant and that covenant not being pertaining to them, they'll also go off, you know what I'm saying? And the nation of Israel will be putting them in check, you know, just so evil won't spread, you know what I'm saying? You know? And it says, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, for the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? So we the ones who, the nation of Israel, are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? And when the nation is when we in rulership, there'll no longer be any confusion of face. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody will go. The Israelites will go back to their original form. You know what I'm saying? To having you know, dark skin. You know what I'm saying? Melanin. You know what I'm saying? Probably be a little, you know, yellow. I call them yellow bellies. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Just light skinned Jakes. You know what I'm saying? you know, but it'll be in the right way. It won't be no more confusion of face, you know. And it says, it's like it says, in the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be the nation of Israel will be the ones to establish the righteous authority within our kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? And every time a heathen goes off, you know what I'm saying, we'll put them in check so the evil won't spread. So any other heathen won't think that, oh, this is okay to do because they didn't get judged. No, it's like it says in Ecclesiastes 8:11, since the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore in the sons of man it is fully set in their heart to do wickedness, to do evil. You know what I'm saying? But no, it won't be like that. We gonna cut that out completely. You know what I'm saying? So it won't be no evil. You know, one of the heathens commit adultery and stuff, he gonna get put to death. So another heathen won't think that it's okay to do. You know what I'm saying? This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And that's talking about also the heathens, man. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? The heathens are mourning right now, man. You got Edomites, which are so-called white people, you know what I'm saying, who's getting the short end of the stick by their own nation, man. You know what I'm saying? You know? And it says, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, and people are mourning. Even the heathens are mourning. The heathens are tired of Esau Edom. That's why they turning it back on them. You know what I'm saying? That's why they want to go against them. That's why they got their military building up, and they spending all and putting all their money in the military, because they want to take this nation down. America, Babylon the Great, man. They want to take it down, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the rulership and its virus of globalism, you know what I'm saying, has brought the people down to shams, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you read Isaiah 33:1, it talks about how they dealt treacherously. You know what I'm saying? Even though nobody has dealt treacherously with them. You know what I'm saying? Nation of Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? They have fucked over every nation, including their own nation, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, because he is an unwise king. You know. This is Malachi chapter 2, verse 7. It says, for the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of Yahweh of hosts. You know what I'm saying? So in the kingdom, we're going to be the ones who's going to be establishing the authority. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to be establishing the righteous acts of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. You know what I'm saying? Because that will be the law of the land, like as it is today. You know what I'm saying? The law of the land still exists, man. Like Scripture says in Judges 5:11, that we shall rehearse the righteous acts, man. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that the law is not done away with. When you read Ecclesiastes 12:13, it says this is the whole duty of man. You know what I'm saying? And when it says man, it also means woman as well. You know what I'm saying? It's just that the man is the head of the household. You know what I'm saying? You know? And we'll be the ones in rulership. This is Baruch chapter 5, verse 1. It says, put off, O Jerusalem, the garment of the mourning and affliction, and put on the comeliness of the glory that cometh from the Most High forever. You know what I'm saying? Because when we in rulership, we won't be mourning no more. Everything will be right. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have to worry about going through hardships, this, that, and the other and stuff, because everything would be decent. We wouldn't have to worry about taxes being taken out of our money, you know what I'm saying? Using authority over another brother and stuff. Other brothers, the nation, you won't have to worry about the nation of Israel going against itself, because we'll be united. You know what I'm saying? Finally, you know. And it says, verse 2, it says, cast about thee a double garment of the righteousness which cometh from the Most High, and set a diadem on thy head of the glory of the everlasting. Diadem, another word for diadem is crown, meaning we're gonna be the ones in rulership, man. We're going to be the ones who rise up. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna stay on top and never fail, playing. You know what I'm saying? And it says, for the Most High will shew thy brightness onto every country under heaven. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna be the ones that's gonna shine, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have the everlasting everlasting life, you know what I'm saying? But 2/3, they gonna have everlasting shame and contempt. But at the same time, they'll be brighter than all the heathens, man. You know what I'm saying? They still will have that covenant of perfection, man. You know what I'm saying? and we'll always be at top. It says, verse 4, it says, for thy name shall be called of the Most High forever, the peace of righteousness and the glory of the Most High's worship. Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east. And behold, thy children gathered from the west and unto the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in remembrance of the Most High, Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much what's going on is that the nation of Israel is coming back together, you know what I'm saying, wherever they are, they coming back to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, you know what I'm saying, they're no longer going off, you know what I'm saying, they're being put in remembrance of who they are, you know what I'm saying, that they're not an African American, that they're not a Mexican, that they're not a Puerto Rican, but they are of the 12 tribes of Israel, man, that they no longer a Native American Indian or Seminole Indian, you know what I'm saying, that they Gadites, Reubenites, Judites, you know what I'm saying, Issacharites, and Ephraimites, man, you know what I'm saying, just to name a few, This is it's Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgment, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Because when we go into the nation of Israel, when we go back home, this is what we're going to be doing. But the law, statute, commandments going to be established throughout all the entire earth. You know what I'm saying? And it says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding inside of the nation. So we the only ones that's going to have this glorious law, the things that makes us gods, man. You know what I'm saying? The ways of the Heavenly Father that's only been given on to us, man. You Negroes, Latinos, and natives, man. You Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, we shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So these nations going to be at all for the wisdom that we have that they can't get from nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Their own wisdom, you know what I'm saying, it's not finna exceed ours, man. You know what I'm saying? Because their wisdom is of false idols, you know what I'm saying, false philosophies, you know what I'm saying, philosophies that do not stand, but that only can be broken, man. You know what I'm saying? Broken down into the murder that they are. You know what I'm saying? But the nation of Israel, our laws, statutes, commandments, you know what I'm saying, our ways are true, you know what I'm saying, 100%, and can never change. You know what I'm saying? Verse 7, it says, for what nation is there so great who have the Most High so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our power is in all things that we can call upon him for. You know what I'm saying? So we the ones that's gonna be close to Yahweh Shem Yahshai. And the thing is that the only way for the we'll also be like the mediators, you know what I'm saying, for the heathens, you know what I'm saying, because they're gonna come through us just so they can worship Yahweh Shem Yahshai, man. You know what I'm saying? And it says, verse 8, it says, what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? You know what I'm saying? And who is it? It's none other but the nation of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 9. It says, surely the ISIL shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them unto the name of Yahweh thy power, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he glorified thee. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, meaning that the other nations, the heathen nations, you Japhites, you Edomites, you know what I'm saying, you Moabites, you Ammonites, you know what I'm saying, you Elamites, you know what I'm saying, all these all the nations outside of Israel, you all are gonna build up our kingdom, man. It's gonna be way better than this piece of shit that's in rule right now, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have the finest of the fine, man. And it says, and the sons and strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. You know what I'm saying? It's right. Minister. The word minister is it means to serve, man. You know what I'm saying? So you all will be our slaves. You know what I'm saying? It says, therefore thy gates shall be open continually; they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. You know what I'm saying? So that means that for all the precious stones and the different offerings and stuff, you heathens will constantly be bringing it into us, man. You know what I'm saying? And it says, verse 12, it says, for the nation and the kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to still be rebellious, and if you want to if you purposely don't want to give your due offering and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and wherever you are placed out in your land and stuff, there's a good chance that you probably won't receive no rain for several months, you know what I'm saying, until you give up your offering, man. You know, you go through a famine, you go through starvation and stuff, because you will obey regardless of anything, you know what I'm saying, either if it's willfully or it's going to be by force, man. You will obey regardless, you know what I'm saying. And I had one more scripture. This is well, here you go. This is Joel 5:19. It says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in the 7 there shall no evil touch thee. And that's this, this is when the kingdom come, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the last slavery that we're in, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the last captivity, you know, and it's almost over, surely, but slowly, actually fastly and surely, man. You know what I'm saying? These prophecies are coming to pass. You know what I'm saying? The nation of Israel are waking up. You Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans are finally knowing who you really are, and you coming back to your heritage, coming back to the customs, you know what I'm saying, which are yours. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we're at the end of this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And New Jerusalem, you know what I'm saying, is the nation of Israel, man. You know, we'll be the ones in rulership, you know what I'm saying, and we'll have righteous authority, you know what I'm saying, that makes everybody happy, you know. So I hope this video was edifying, and I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to your leg.